Hi, I'm Grace Plata, and I'm here to equip, empower, and encourage you to help you live your best life. So last week we talked about 3 ways to get your life going to the next level, and I mentioned I might do a part 2. Well, I have some really good news. There are a lot of ways to go to the next level in your life. So if you're joining me live, go ahead and put in #live, or if you're watching the replay, I still appreciate you guys. Put #replay in the comments. And so there are even more ways to go to the next level in your life that I could give in the future, and I have done more where I've gone more in depth in the past. But here are 3 more ways to get promoted in your life. And if it's okay with you, let's go right in. So the first one is forgiveness. Forgiveness is a big deal. Forgiveness is essential to moving forward in life because bitterness and unforgiveness and resentment will chain you to the past. It's not just like forgetting your past, but really forgiving the people who have hurt and wounded you. And moving on isn't necessarily forgiveness. Maybe you've heard it said when you don't forgive, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Well, it's actually slowly killing you. There have been medical studies shown that unforgiveness actually produces like really bad diseases that come out of like just keeping it locked inside of you. It rots your insides. How's that for motivation? This is a huge tip that one of my mentors taught me that's so powerful that I want to teach you guys too. Hi, Amber. Hi, Lynn. So write down 5 people, maybe you have less, maybe you have more, 5 people who have hurt you that you haven't fully forgiven. And a big tip to tell if you haven't forgiven them is when you see them or you hear their name or if you have some kind of memory linked to them, that you get angry or like you start like going cold inside or you just get frustrated. That is a big tip, a big notification inside of you to let you know if you haven't forgiven that person who has hurt you. Write their name on a piece of paper and forgive them. A huge way you can tell is like imagine you're sitting across a table from them and say, you don't have to list their faults, because that'll send you down the bad path again. You just say, so-and-so, I forgive you, I release you, and I bless you. And that's how you know that you've forgiven them. So if you can bless them and say, yes, it does take work. It will take time. It can take time. It will take prayer. But if you don't want your insides to rot, it'll be worth the effort. And also, you hear a lot of time, forgive others. Yes, and that's so important. But oftentimes, forgiving yourself may be the hardest forgiving lesson and process you'll have to go through, that you'll have to learn. And honestly, I've been there. It's one of the worst places to be, but it's so worth it because you'll be able to move forward in life. You'll be able to, love yourself. People, they make a big deal out of either, you need to find that fine line between loving yourself too much or hating yourself, because both of those are really unhealthy. We got to find that really good dividing point where it's like, yeah, I can do better, but you don't focus on that. Now I'm going to go down another rabbit trail, but we got to focus on not loving ourselves. That's self-idolatry, but also self-pity and thinking lower of ourselves than we really are is also idolatry, honestly. So it will take time, it will take effort, and if a lot of people think that God doesn't forgive people, that he's mad at them, that can be a sign that you haven't fully forgiven someone or yourself. And unforgiveness, it will hold you back from what you're designed to do. It will also hold you back from God. If you think he's mad at you, that's something's wrong there. In Mark 11:24, it says that when you stand praying, this is when you're praying, this is when you're in prayer, that believe that you receive it when you pray. But when you stand praying, if you haven't forgiven somebody, forgive them so your Father will forgive you too. So it's kind of like, it's not so much as if you do this, I'll do this for you. It's like, if you want this, then you do this, right? So it's not legalism, it's a relationship. So if you want your prayers to be answered, forgive those people. I know, it hurts. Unforgiveness will stop you like in an invisible wall. It'll feel like something is blocking you and you don't know what it is. Search it down, find it, and destroy it. After you've forgiven those people on your pieces of paper, rip it up, throw it in the trash, recycle it, burn it. I don't care. Just get rid of it because you are free from that. You have forgiven them, and forgive yourself too. And then after you've forgiven them, it'll feel like the weight of the world has been lifted off your shoulders and you can breathe again and you can do the things that you need to do, that you want to do. And maybe it's somebody that you're still like friends with. Like oftentimes it's the people that we're closest to that leave the biggest mark on us, like a parent, a sibling, a close friend. And the thing is that we trusted them, right? We expected them to do something and they didn't do it. And that's what hurts us, because we put up wrong expectations of that person. So we need to forgive those that have wronged us. And I hope I gave enough reasons why. I have more though, if you want to hear them. But we need to go on to something else that's so honestly maybe even more important that people neglect, because forgiveness is talked about a lot. But this hasn't. So number two, the second thing is respect. This is often not talked about amongst like lots of personal development people, but it's so important. Respect authority. This is so deep. Most people in the world do not understand how essential this is if you really want to do something with your life. This is really deep. God knows that if you don't respect people He has put above you, that people are above you, people of authority, you won't respect and honor Him. This is so important. It really does matter how you treat your parents, your teachers, or a boss if you have one. Anybody above you should be honored. And police officers, people guarding and upholding the law should be honored as well. And this is honestly where I have a little explaining to do, because it's not like the culture to submit and respect and honor and like truly honor those in authority. The culture has completely lost respect, lost the true meaning of respect, of honor and respect towards people above us. I mean, people will honor celebrities. They'll honor sports players. They'll honor social media icons more than they respect any people around them that really are in a position to receive respect and honor. And might turn into a rant. I don't want it to. But respect is earned, but honor is given to all authority, regardless if they have the same moral values as you. And I've had to walk through this. Like if I were to see I'm not going there. But another thing, this is a huge tip. It goes to parents, to teachers, to anybody above you. Delayed obedience is still disobedience. That really still hurts. How's that for an ouch moment? And then number 3, this is when you are at the next level, when you finally made it past this thing that feels like it's stopping you. It's pride. It's your own self-pride that is stopping you from going even to the next level after you've gone to this. So pride comes after the hard time. It's when everything is finally looking good, life's good, I'm happy, everything is going great. And once you get to that point where you finally feel like you can breathe again, you need to still be cautious, because once you get there, pride will come and knock at the door and tell you what it wants you to do. Real quick, let's talk definitions, because honestly, the definition of pride is more accurate than what most people have. Humble. Pride is a feeling or a deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievements. That sounds about right? The consciousness of one's dignity, the quality of having an excessively high opinion of oneself or one's importance. That sounds about right, though. Pride is, I did that, I do that, it's all about me, I'm so cool, or even I'm better than everybody else. Oftentimes people who are prideful don't even know that they're prideful. They accuse, here's the twisted part, they accuse others of having lots of pride and ego. That's kind of scary though, isn't it? Also, people who are holding on to unforgiveness, they don't realize or admit that they're holding on to forgiveness because they'll bury it down. And by the way, when you choose to hold on to unforgiveness, that's a form of pride. This is the biggest, you've probably heard that pride comes before the fall, right? Well, here's the biggest example. It's in the beginning of time. It's how the devil was cast to hell, which is honestly, by the way, that the context I'm using it in is not a swear word. Just simmer down. It's not a swear word, but the devil was once an angel. There's some trivia for you. He was the choir director in heaven, and he wanted to be worshipped like God was. He became proud, and he thought he was worthy of all the honor and praise, but honestly, he's not. He wanted to be God. And honestly, that's modern day pride for you. That's the same thing. By doing everything yourself, by thinking we're better than we really are. Now let's go to humble. When you think of humble, you probably don't associate the word humble with bold, strong, wise, courageous. You kind of associate the word humble with something like weak, frail, timid even. Does that sound about right? But the real definition that you will not find in a dictionary is bold, strong, and brave. And true humility is knowing who you really are. It's knowing that you don't have all the answers. It's knowing that you can't do everything by yourself. This is really something risky to mention, but by defeat pride by realizing you can't do it all yourself. You can't accomplish your mission by yourself. You can't achieve your highest dreams by yourself. And you can't just be a couch potato either. This is a risky thing to mention because you have to realize that you and God have a part to play in your life. You need Him and He needs you to walk out the things that you are called to do. And you need to realize that honestly, you're not God. You can't do it all. So stop trying to be God in your life. I've had to walk, that little thing. You have to walk through life knowing that you don't have all the answers. You can't do everything, but you have someone in your life who does. You have someone in your life that will help you go through that will help you go through all the things that you're trying to get through, that will help you with all the problems, that will tell you who you need to forgive so you can move forward. But you can't reach your highest dreams by yourself. You're not God and you don't have all the answers. Does that make sense? I hope so. Jesus, the most perfect human to walk the earth, started the largest ministry in just 3 years, raised people from the dead. He was very humble, but he wasn't weak, frail, or timid. He was strong, courageous, and bold. But he's the most humble. And honestly, a thing about humble is that a lot of people who are actually humble, people will accuse them of being prideful. There's a twist. People who are prideful don't realize it and will accuse others of being prideful, but people who actually have a lot of pride will accuse the true humble of being humble. That's kind of messed up, isn't it? But Jesus, he was so humble. And back in that time period, there were different kinds of slaves. There were higher and lower ranks. And the lowest of the lowest of the lowest servant was to wash the feet of the people in the household. And that I would consider that really gross. Because people, they wore sandals, and they would walk through gross stuff, horse mess, dirt, unimaginable stuff. They didn't have trash pickup, and there's some really gross things I won't scare you with, but that was on their feet. And the most important human in the universe washed his friend's feet. That's true humility. So what kind of picture does that paint in your mind right now? Because every time I say that or hear that, it's like, yeah. And also, here's the last tip. If you don't care who gets the credit, you will be unusually successful. How's that? So like I said earlier, there are so many ways to go to the next level in your life. There are so many ways to advance. But I want to spend a little time on these vital lessons, because once you get them, you can conquer the world. But don't become prideful about that. But anyway, please like and share this video if it helped you. Share with a friend. And we'll see you next week. I hope to cover something really in-depth and really deep. So we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining me. And I really hope this was helpful so you can go to the next level in your life. Bye. Bye.